I request David Rogers ji to take the Hatha Yoga part.
It is my honor to stand on this stage in India to be able to share with you some of the things that I have learned from India. And for me, that's a wonderful thing. In this respect, India, of course, has changed my life. I've been teaching yoga for 25 years, and I've had several different teachers that have made a very big impression on me. I started by learning yoga in the tradition of Vishnu Ghosh in Kolkata, and then I moved to learning Ashtanga yoga in Mysore. And most recently, I've been studying the yoga of TKV Desikachar. And these are all very big influences on me, and I hope that I can share with you today the elements of these practices that I have found the most useful for me. Yoga can help to bring peace to the world. Yoga can help to bring balance to your lives. Yoga can help to improve your relations with yourself and with other people. As we know traditionally in the Ashtanga yoga system, there are 8 limbs of yoga. The last 4 limbs are limbs that are considered soft limbs of yoga. They're elements of consciousness. They're ways of interacting with your consciousness that give you the chance to act in a way, both in your practice but also in your daily life, that might be a bit different from how you would if you weren't doing yoga. But to achieve these wonderful levels of consciousness, we need to practice Hatha yoga. We need to do asana and pranayama. It's the beautiful union of mind, body, and breath that we experience in our yoga practice on the mat on a daily basis that allows these beautiful states of non-dual connection to consciousness to arise naturally. So we have some work to do on the mat, yoga asana, pranayama, and if we do this work carefully, gently, as the doctor suggested, gently, then we create in our body the chance for these elements to arise naturally. It's not something we have to do. We don't have to do meditation. It happens. After we've done the asana and the pranayama, it arises. As I spent more time learning from Indian yoga teachers, I learned that no, it's not just about fitness, it's not just about exercise. Those are good. They bring us benefits. But there's a deeper layer, there's a deeper level, and I could see that on the faces of the people who are practicing here. And that's a wonderful thing. So I'd like to share with you the 5 principles of yoga practice that I believe make it different and unique on this planet. And they have to do with the breath. So connecting the breath and the body, using the mind, are the ways that we create the state in ourselves that make it possible to observe the yamas and the niyamas and to do good in the world. Yoga asana, pranayama, meditation and life should be a seamless process. It's one thing. So let me share with you the principles that I learned from India that make it possible for me to feel this and experience in my life, and I hope will find its way into your lives as well. So the first principle of yoga asana that I respect is the principle of the body movement is the breath movement. And the breath movement is the body movement. By linking the two together, we bring the mind into connection with the body, and we start to let go of the distractions of our thoughts, of the rest of the world. So this is the first step, to bring the mind into the body and keep it connected there. There are 2 ways that I think are very nice to do that. And if you would like to try this, I welcome you to try it. And you can do it seated, or you can also stand up if you would like to try this. The first thing that I'd like to suggest is that we do 1 movement and 1 breath in our asana practice. So when I move my arms up and I inhale, and I move my arms down and I exhale, we're already starting this process of bringing the body and mind together. So that's one element of body and mind moving together with the breath. The other is making a gentle sound from the back of your throats when you breathe in your yoga practice. And I'd like to practice that with you guys just a little bit today. It's a very gentle sound, and there's no need to constrict the throat for this. It shouldn't cause tension in the body. It's almost like you're whispering. In English language, there's a nursery rhyme that maybe you know. It's Mary Had a Little Lamb. Are you guys familiar with that? Mary Had a Little Lamb? So let's try saying Mary had a little lamb, but saying it as a whisper. Mary had a little lamb. Could you guys hear that? Mary had a little lamb. Okay? Can you guys try saying that just like that, whisper? Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. You can try it as well. Mary had a little lamb. I can hear. Mary had a little lamb. Okay, now let's try saying the same thing while we inhale. Mary had a little lamb. Can you try it inhaling? Mary had a little lamb. Okay, do you feel the breath coming into the body? Now try again, exhaling. Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little lamb. Inhaling. Mary had a little lamb. Okay, so that sound is similar to the sound that we make when we're practicing our yoga. So it's a gentle sound from the back of the throat, and I'd like to put some movement together with that sound. So if you would, relax the arms down by your side. You can do this in your chairs as well if you'd like. And let's do one breath inhaling, making that sound. Move the arms up. Shoulders relaxed. Touch the hands together. And then exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Thank you so much. So a gentle sound helps connect our senses to what we're doing in that moment. We pay attention to the sound, we're going inside, we're turning inwards. Moving the arms together with the breath also brings our attention inside. The second principle that I love from my yoga practice is inhaling from above and exhaling from below. And this is a very interesting process because it gives us a chance to feel in the body the movement of the breath. So when I take an inhale in my yoga practice, I try to feel my chest and lungs expand first. And they expand three-dimensionally, back to front and side to side. That's my inhale. And when I exhale from the belly to the throat. So I inhale into the chest. And at the end, the belly expands some too. And I exhale from the belly. You can close your eyes if you want to and listen to the sound of your breath. Shoulders stay relaxed. Pause, exhale down. And one more time. And this time when you exhale, bring your hands down in front of the chest, please. Belly gently in, and now relax and be with your natural breath. You might let the head tip down towards the chest. The head acknowledging the heart as its source. Even from just doing that simple inhale-exhale, you might already feel different when you're in this position afterwards. So already, just from doing that simple movement, you might feel the meditation arising. So the next principle that I'd like to share with you is asana creates bandha, and bandha supports the breath. One of the things that makes yoga asana different from exercise and fitness is that we have these intelligent engagements in the body taking place called bandha. And different muscle groups come together in different points of the body. And yoga asana naturally brings us into that engagement, especially if we do that with the breath. Breathing into the chest and out from the belly while we move the body helps us to feel the engagement of the proper groups so that we know that we're in that place. This also helps to put gentle pressure along the spine that then helps to release the blockages of the different nerve channels that are moving up and down. So this is very important for our Hatha yoga practice. And it happens naturally. It's not something you necessarily have to think about. You don't have to think, where is my bandha? It's happening if you're breathing and doing the asana together as one. So let's try another little movement that you might feel it with. Perhaps you can stand up, because this one might be easier if you stand up. And you guys can try standing or sitting if you want. Let's stand with the feet slightly apart. The knees are soft. And bring your weight forward into the toes, so your heels are light on the floor. Hands together in front of the chest, and you can touch them lightly. So we'll try this breathing with a twist. So please make that same noise when you breathe. Inhale into the chest and open the right arm to the side. Just one arm, if you can. And then exhale the hand back together. Bring it back to the front. Good. Inhale, open. Inhale into the upper chest, then the belly expands too. Exhale together. Belly in, belly in, belly in. One more time. Inhale. Chest expanding, shoulders soft. Pause, exhale. Gently compress the belly back to the spine and up. One more on this side. Open the chest, keep the shoulders relaxed. Good. Now let's stay here. When you exhale now, go just a little bit deeper. We're going to stay here. And now inhale back a little bit. Pause. Exhale from the belly. And go a bit deeper. Use the compression of the belly. Pause. Inhale back into the chest. And then exhale, bring your hands together in front of the chest. Close your eyes again. Rest with your natural breath. You might imagine a lotus flower. There's a little cave inside your hands. Imagine you've got a lotus flower that you're nurturing with your heart. Okay, you can let the arms relax down. The last thing I'd like to share with you, actually two more things. One is the concept of the breath enveloping the body movement. In this practice that I'm sharing with you, which comes from the lineage of Sri Krishnamacharya, we make the breath just a little bit longer than the body movement. We start the breath first, we start our movement, we finish the movement, and then we finish the breath. So the breath becomes like an envelope around the movement. It's very important because if we start the breath first, then the breath leads the whole movement. And we move in support of the breath. And if we finish the breath last, after we finish moving, it's very difficult to hurt yourself if you stop moving before you stop breathing. Because the breath anatomy, which you're using for the breath, helps to keep it safe. So if you finish that movement before the breath is helping keep you safe. Let's give that a try with another simple movement. We'll just do a simple uttanasana. So if you're feeling like it, you can do a forward bend. If you're sitting down, you can just bend forward in your chair, or you can try standing up if you want to. But whatever time you have and whatever space you have. So let's soften the knees. Bring the weight a little bit forward. You might want to have your feet a little bit more parallel, just a bit. There you go. Yeah, bring the weight forward into the toes, heels are light. And now start your inhale first, and then move the arms up. Chest expanding, touch the hands, then finish the breath. Pause. Exhale, belly in, gently bend forward. Pull the belly in as you go down, belly in. Finish the movement, finish the breath. Pause. Inhale first, now come back up. And let the arms bring you up. The arms are helping to open the chest, shoulders relaxed. Finish the pause, breath, exhale, go down again. Pull the belly in, back to the spine and up. Pause one more time. Inhale first and then move the arms up. The arms are opening the rib cage, making room for the lungs to expand. Pause, exhale first and go down. Belly in, belly in. Belly in. Now let's stay in the forward bend gently. Now when you inhale, open the chest a little bit away from the legs. Pause. Exhale from the belly. Bend the knees a bit more and you can get closer to the legs. Pause. Inhale, let the chin move closer to your chest for Jalandhara Bandha. Pause. Exhale from the belly. Go a little bit lower. You can get closer because the belly is contracting. Pause. Good. And inhale, come all the way back up. Opening through the chest. Shoulders relaxed. Pause. Exhale from the belly, hands down. Close your eyes. Now rest with your natural breath. You might tip the chin down towards the chest. The head acknowledging the heart. Thank you. So, again, you might already start to feel the sense of something opening and arising for you. Thank you. So I included the last thing I wanted to suggest with you in that, because I know we're running a little bit low on time. I said pause. Did you hear me say pause when we were doing the posture? I said inhale, pause, exhale, pause at the bottom. So pausing between the breaths does a couple of things that I think is really important. One, it makes you honest about your breath. It makes you so focused on the breath and so honest with your efforts that you don't push yourself too hard. Because if you know you're going to pause a little bit after a breath, you know you have to be aware of the efforts you're putting in, so you don't work so hard that you can't pause. Pausing takes some consciousness, some gentle effort. So pausing between the breaths makes sure that we're not practicing too hard for ourselves. We don't start huffing and puffing, which can happen, right? Especially with Surya Namaskar and the postures that are standing, they're using the leg muscles and they're getting the heart pounding. If we pay attention to the breath so carefully that we can pause a little bit, then it's much more likely that we won't push ourselves too hard. It's okay if the heart rate goes up a little bit when you practice, but you don't want the breathing to get out of control, okay? So I mentioned that when we were doing the posture, pausing between the breaths is very good. Also, pausing between the breaths, once you're comfortable with it, once you're comfortable with the asana, it gives you that taste of stillness, which is the beginning of the meditation. So if you take your inhale up and then you exhale down, belly in, the bandhas are working, you're completely relaxed, you pause the breath, there's a moment where the meditation arises naturally, where you're in that place of stillness and a different experience of consciousness. So we can begin to have this experience in our asana practice. And then, if we do that in our asana practice, when we sit down for our pranayama practice, we've been using the breath anatomy in the asanas. We're more aware of the breath anatomy in our pranayama, which in a way is more difficult because we're just sitting still. And we have to be super conscious of gently using the belly for the exhale, gently letting the chest expand for the inhale. So let's finish with a short pranayama, if you don't mind. Is that okay? Should we sit down? Okay. And sit comfortably for yourself. So please bring your thumb and index fingertips together gently. Place the back of your wrists on top of the knees. Shoulders relaxed. A gentle lifting in the chest, just a light lifting. And let's do the Shatali breath. So we'll inhale through the curled tongue as the head tips up. We'll exhale by the nose as the head tips down. Maybe I'll face this way so you guys can see what I'm talking about if you haven't done it. So we're going to inhale through the tongue. Just watch me for a second. And exhale by the nose. Head tipping down. Inhale through the tongue. Exhale by the nose. Okay, guys, please try it yourself. And you can close your eyes now that you know what it looks like. Everyone can close the eyes. Inhale through the tongue. Exhale by the nose. Continue at your own pace. Be gentle with yourself. Inhaling is into the upper chest. And then the belly expands some too. And exhaling is from the belly to the throat. Now, if you've got a good pace, if you're feeling comfortable, you might add a pause between the breaths, just a short pause. Be gentle with yourself. The pause should feel like a rest. Now please go back to breathing without a pause. Same technique. Inhaling into the upper chest and exhaling from the belly. And when you exhale, the body base might gently strengthen beneath you as well. And now please let your chin come to level and breathe naturally. Nothing to change, nothing to fix. There's no struggle to be something other than what you are. Life itself. No separation between you and life. You are life. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you.